Hello and welcome to you. Today we're going to look at karma and what we Kejawen practitioners understand as karma, and maybe its relationship to black magic. So a part of the Buddhist tradition that has come into Kejawen is a belief in karma. Specifically, there's a belief that we carry with us the sins or the bad doings, and I will return to this, of 7 generations of our ancestors. So we carry the karma from these 7 generations. Now, of course, a part of the whole Buddhist view of karma is that is also reincarnation. And whilst some Kejawen practitioners believe in reincarnation, others don't. I'm not sure. Parkano I think, doesn't believe in it. Or if he does, he has a view of it similar to mine, which is a little bit complicated, and I think we need to save for another video. Whereas others do most certainly believe that you return, and you not only return, but you could, as a part of karma, you could return, for example, as a rock. So as a punishment, you could return as a rock. As I say, that's not really my opinion on it. And certainly our view of karma is quite different to the sort of New Age practitioners, that it's about what you do in your lifetime. Of course, the world balances itself. The universe, I should say universe rather than world, balances itself. So in that respect, there is karma, but the big destructive parts of karma are to do with your ancestors. Now, this is part of a new section to the magic of Java, called the real magic of Java. In this new section, I'm going to focus on real people performing what they believe to be real magic in Java. I'll attempt to explain some of the elements of this Javanese magic, particularly what I describe as the Kejawen elements. However, I need to warn you that inevitably my explanations will be partial. Maybe sometimes some elements of what I say will be incorrect, for which I profusely apologise. But this reflects the oral tradition of magic in Java, the mystery, and at times, I have to admit, subterfuge surrounding the practice of magic in Java. Please accept my apologies, but I do hope you enjoy this new section. I want to illustrate the concept of karma with reference to Masperwa and the misfortune that's befallen him. Perhaps one of the biggest misfortunes was that his daughter married a Preman, and this lovely girl is a result of it, but now they're divorced, and both the Preman and her subsequent boyfriend put love spells on her, which you're about to see being removed. Now what you see first is him putting his hand on the hand, but unusually he's also got it on the head, and one often needs 2 points of contacts for the flow of energy. What isn't normally required, however, is knocking off the sunglasses, and I think that's optional. Now clearly the laying of hands didn't work, so Parkano moves to her back, and I've seen this many times done by Dukan and Ustads, focusing on the back, but I'd never seen Parkano do it before. And there you go, he's removed it. The other great tragedy for Maspornio was very recently his son, who was in the army, was murdered by his comrades in the army. It was complicated. It was to do with him having an affair with another lady, and I think they were trying to extort money out of him because he would have been thrown out of the army had it been found out. Maybe he wasn't paying them enough. We'll probably never know the full story, and you saw there the pictures of the son. Of course, Masponio was absolutely devastated by this, and it plays on his mind terribly, despite having this beautiful granddaughter with him. It's gone. Only a month ago, Masperwe suffered from a stroke. Now he's a resilient man, and I explained to him that he needed to exercise, and you can see that he's now moving quite well. But unfortunately, he can't really work as a result of it, which is somewhat playing on his mind, although you can see he's making rapid progress. Prior to his stroke and the health crisis, Masperwe used to sell chickens, which he can no longer do. He's also called MC Jawa because he used to speak at weddings and also at wayang performances. Again, that's not happening as a result of the health crisis. So like many people in the village, he's looking for another income, and he's opened this little store within his house, which he's not doing too badly. But then by the same token, he feels emasculated by all that's happened to him. Now, Pakano believes that the reason for all this misfortune is to do with karma, and specifically the karma that he's thinking of was Masperwe's mother married my wife's father, despite him already being married. Now that's okay in Indonesia because people can have 4 wives, although I'm not sure that the father actually was Muslim. But I think Pakano probably suspects that black magic was at play, that he used love spells to get the wife, and it was that use of that black magic that caused the bad karma. Now, I ought to explain that black magic, or certainly I have a very broad definition of black magic, and it is really about using the paranormal or using things to get your own will. And so I'd include in it what in Arab countries is known as the evil eye. So manifesting things for yourself against others, I'd include in black magic, and I suspect that's Pakano's view. Now, an even better definition is both Pakano and I use the light which is really the love of God, the bliss of God. And so the definition of black magic is what is outside of that light, what is outside of that bliss. Now, this karma could be coming from a relative of his who lives behind him, who's a Dukan. And certainly Pakano's had to help this Dukan because of his practices, and the various things that he had around his house were causing problems to him. So it was attracting jinns, evil spirits, bad energy, whatever you want to call it. And it was affecting this Dukan. So it could have been something that spilled out from this Dukan's house. And you can see it here. Here's the Dukan's house. Telltale sign, he's got those kris, which are the Javanese knives painted on the side of it. However, this Dukan and indeed Masperwe are in something of a feud with another Dukan in the village. and I do know who it is, but I don't know that he's definitely sent these problems to them. Pacano won't say because he knows that these feuds only get worse. So I have my view of who it is, and it could have been sent to the family by this other Dukan. And here we'll look at a close-up at that picture there. I'm not entirely certain what it is, but it sort of signifies black magic. Well, I really hope you've enjoyed this. Because these are real events, I can't say how regularly I'm going to be adding to this subsection. Because I don't know how often they're going to occur. But I would imagine that they'll be at least every couple of months, maybe monthly. Now, if you'd like to know when that's going to be, please subscribe and hit the button, and you'll get information on when new ones are released. I'd love you to make comments and ask questions, and if you do, I'll attempt to answer them as honestly as I can. I promise you that there's no attempt on this channel, or this part of this channel, of me. There'll be no attempt by me at any type of subterfuge. I'll try to be as honest and open as I possibly can be. Inevitably, there will be some of you who disagree with my interpretation, and we can agree to disagree. But what you're seeing is real stuff here. What I'd love you to do, if you enjoyed this, is look at my other sections. Particularly, I've written novels about magic in Java, and they contain much more information in them, especially me trying to understand the theories of magic, the psychology of it, and I try and intersperse them with a sort of spiritual dimension. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.